What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you see a way back into the college football playoff for the Texas Longhorns? Because I got to tell you, I'm not mad about saying I don't. Sorry about you. Damn. Them's the breaks. Couldn't happen to a wealthier team. Couldn't happen to a more talented team. Feels like they expected to go down to Sanford and do what Alabama did to Georgia. Except there's one small fact that Texas just conveniently, maybe, missed. You ain't Alabama. And more importantly, Bama took a loss today. So either way, somebody was going to look bad in this game thanks to Oklahoma. But don't mind Oklahoma. Right now, we talk about Texas. Remember Texas when your man Paul Feinbaum was talking about Arch Manning might be the best quarterback we've seen since Tim Tebow? I don't think that take is going to stand up here after 10 games, dog. I don't think that's what you want to do right now, dog. Look, Arch didn't play piss poor, and he didn't play great. He played 27-43 for 251 with a TD to pick, took 3 sacks. But it was more about Kirby Smart running circles around Steve Sarkisian and backing that man up everywhere he could go. Like, between Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart, it was very clear to me that there was nothing that Texas was doing offensively that was flummoxing his defense or that they weren't prepared for. And that, if I'm Steve Sarkisian, would give me the shakes. Because my whole get down is I'm a great play caller. As a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, he was asked, thought about giving up the play caller privilege so you can, worry about other stuff. He's like, no. That's one of the reasons I got the job. I'm a really great play caller. Not tonight, fam. Not tonight. You got 10 points tonight, fam. You got 10. Again, against one of the best coordinators to ever do it, you got 10. 10 ain't going to get it done when they putting up 35 on your defense. And remember, you got Arch Manning. You got Ryan Wingo. You got DeAndre Moore. You got Everett Mosley the fifth. You got Parker Livingston. You got C.J. Baxter. You got dudes. You got Jackie and Drees, and all you can do is get 10? 10? I mean, if this was gymnastics, maybe that's pretty good, but this is college football, so no, it's really not. It's really not. So we got that going on for him, which ain't a great look, quite honestly. And the other part that I think is fascinating about this is I've been saying for anybody that will listen to me when I talk, man, I'm telling y'all, be dropping nuggets on this thing. If you can stop Steve Sarkisian running the football, you can beat Texas, period. The offense does not work if he can't run the football. It's as if the quarterback doesn't have any options available to him because all of the things that allow for a quarterback in a Steve Sarkisian offense to operate depend on having outstanding rushing. Okay, so take it back to 2020. What I think is one of the greatest college football teams of all time. As a matter of fact, we got 3 of the greatest college football teams of all time, 18, 19, 20, right? Clemson, 2018, 2019 LSU, 2020 Bama. I still think 2020 Bama versus everybody. It's the best team I've ever seen, right? Especially given what they had to go through. But the reason that Mac Jones was cooking people is because Najee Harris was running over people. The reason Devontae Smith was winning the Heisman Trophy is because Najee Harris was running over people. The reason Jalen Waddle was an absolute monster is because Najee Harris was running over people. They weren't able to run over nobody tonight. Not nobody. Look, they had 17 rushes for 23 yards in this game. Quintravion Weiser had 9 for 37. They couldn't do anything against that Georgia front seven. And there is nothing that Kirby Smart loves more than eating up your rushing attack because then he gets to send his simulated pressures. And his simulated pressures with his rotating coverages are hell for a quarterback. Because not only do you not know where the blitz is coming from, it ain't a blitz. Because he's not sending more than 4. And all the time you're rotating the coverage. So you have pieces on the chessboard that are in constant motion while your guys are in constant motion and having to make their sight adjustments post-snap and you have to trust them to make them. And then you got to know where you're going with the football, all while you got 6'6", 260 pounds running down your throat. That is where you get to decide whether or not that's a great quarterback or not. And as a dude that played a position, as a dude who loves offensive football, that's hell, dog. When I don't know who's coming after me and I can't read the back end because my post-snap read is no longer clear because I can't get out of my way. Is that 3 coming from this side? Is that 3 and 1? Where are they coming from? And that is really the sauce of an odd front. That's why Kirby Smart loves his 3-man front. And that's why most defensive coordinators can run one, will run one. And even if you ain't got the personnel to run a 3-4, which means you got to be super large up front. Like you got to put it at whatever Jordan Davis was running around at, whatever Jalen Carter was running around at. And then you got edges, right? That outside linebackers, they're really 5 techniques. Then you got your outside linebackers that could be 5 techniques, but they can run like deer. So you have them an outside linebacker. Think Trayvon Walker, right? Then you got your linebackers that can plug every gap in every hole, but you also got a defensive tackle up there that's eating up at least 2 blocks. So he's got a clean view of the backfield and he can go get whomever's back there. And we got guys that are fast and can move lightning quick at 240 pounds and can see it and hit it. Yeah, that's an elite front 7. So then you get to play too high with your safeties, which means you can do anything you want. You can rotate one down. You can run cloud. You can run robber. And if you feeling frisky, you can run man. But also because of the odd front, I can send people from everywhere. I can send safeties. I can send linebackers. I can collapse one side. I can twist. I can make hell for a quarterback, which is all of this moving around in your face. And that's what I felt like Arch was dealing with all night because he didn't have a run game he could trust. When you have a run game you could trust, you force the defense to declare at some point, we're going to run man here because we no longer want to get beat running our zone coverages where we're letting the running back come to us, where we're letting the offensive line come to us. But they were able to beat up on a 5-man offensive line with essentially a 4-man front with 3 down linemen. Again, it's Kirby Smart, right, who's recruiting big, strong, fast dudes. But those simulated pressures are hell, man. And when you can run them correctly, like what Dave Aranda was doing in 2019, you really do have to be one of the great thinkers, processors of information, and accurate passers in the game to beat it. And Arch is just not that guy. And I said that in the preview leading up to this. I said, confuse that boy. If you give that boy something else to look at, move it around, shake it in his face a little bit, give him a little bit of this, give him a little bit of that, he's going to be wide-eyed like a newborn at strip club or like a new boy at strip club, and he's not going to know what's going on. You're going to hit him. You're going to get in the way of these passes. You're going to pick these things off, man. It was really, really astounding and great defense. And then the audacity to be the pole assassin on the sideline to go for the onside kick. Damn. Damn. I mean, I swear to God, that is the kind of stuff that gets people to rage quit against me on EA Sports College Football 26. You're up. You just gotta, you got a momentum play, right? Quick change. You got the TD. And then you onside kick and you recover, rage quit. And I know that's what Steve Sarkisian wanted to do. He wanted to rage quit right there because there's no way you're coming back. And then it got worse. And now you're down 35-10, and you got 3 losses in a league where 3 losses is out of the college football playoff on a day where a team you beat a team that couldn't beat the team that just beat you. So for those of y'all that are new or have not been paying attention to the college football so far this season, Oklahoma beat a previously undefeated team in SEC play called Alabama. Oklahoma also lost to Texas at a neutral site game, but we always play at Dallas. And then Georgia lost to Alabama at Sanford. So now we got 1 loss, right, for Ole Miss, who clawed one back against Florida today. We got 1 loss for Georgia against Bama. And we got 1 loss for Bama against Oklahoma. We got us a race, dog. Like, the nice thing about this SEC championship game, A&M, by the way, still the last and only undefeated team in the SEC. Nobody can clinch a spot in the SEC championship game until November 28th to November 29th. Can't happen. I love that. Means everybody got to come to play. And then look at the lineup. Texas got to play A&M, right? Right. Oklahoma got to play LSU, but not the LSU that we thought they were going to have to play. That's good for them, right? Might feel like Oklahoma might backdoor into this thing if Ole Miss can't hold its water against a Mississippi State team that has looked plucky. Meanwhile, all Georgia got to do is sit back and wait because their non-conference is done. They finished it 9-1 or 8-1, excuse me. So your only loss is to Bama, whose loss is to Oklahoma, and then they got to play Auburn, right? Still got Charlotte, still got Georgia Tech, but I don't think either one of those teams is going to beat Georgia. And I think Georgia's going to make it the college football playoff, whether or not they make the SEC championship game. But a team like Oklahoma really still does need the help for the SEC championship game. I got to figure out the ranks a little bit later because I did not expect to be talking about both a Texas loss and an Oklahoma win today. But you know what? I will celebrate like it's my birthday, even though it is not. And we will continue to have these discussions about what we think the rest of the SEC is capable of, as Indiana and Ohio State still look like the clear two best teams in the country. And great that if they finish what they start, they got to play each other in the Big Ten championship, and we might see them play again. And I want to get into some other games around this as we unpack further what has gone on and what this Georgia win means for not just the SEC, but college football. But I want to do it after we talk about our presenting sponsor for tonight's show. That is MyBookie. And if you are interested in making a wager, maybe you want to use MyBookie because they partner with the show for the rest of college football season. We're very grateful for that. And if you are looking at the line for, say, Oklahoma LSU, and you're going, nah, you're going to cover that and then some, or you're looking at the offense that Oklahoma had and said, ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way. All Oklahoma's going to be doing is winning games like it's the year 2000, year 2001. It's going to be the defense carrying it through. Either way, you bet the over, you bet the under, you can bet the point spread, you can play prayer prop. And if you do, use the code RJ Young, all one word, all my name, and they will cover your bet to $500. That means that if you lose, you can play again by using your bet back bonus token. Go ahead, take advantage of that. Let me know how it goes for you. I would be interested to know such a thing, you know? Question and answers. I'm trying to get to those. I really am. I'm going to try to get to those. So let's take a look real quick at what you got to say before I get back into what I got to say. Now, I don't always take the viewership's temperature like some other hosts do, because frankly, some of the questions and things y'all got to say don't interest me. So I'm giving you this opportunity now to give me something, a question, a take that might interest me. So people have been posting in this thing since I put up the live stream like at 6:00 tonight. And every now and again, you find somebody who's like, yeah, okay, Texas going to take care of business. And that, no. It's not how that worked. Ooh, here's one. Let me see. I'm assuming that's smoking reference, but I'm not going to say all of that. Sark might need to go. Texas getting beat like this is crazy. Texas is the richest college in America. And to get beat like this is inexcusable. Sark has to go. Go where, fam? Go where? Who you going to get? James Franklin? Huh? Billy Napier? Huh? Mike Gundy? Huh? I mean, you got a pick out there. There's way more supply than there is demand. But you tell me, who you going to go get, homie? Who's doing a better job than Steve Sarkisian at Texas? Is it Mac Brown? Is it Tom Herman? Who is it, dog? Who you going to go? Huh? You going to bring the Ouija board over to Darrell K. Royal's monument? Going to ask him some questions? Huh? Or are you the kind of crazy person that believes that Ryan Day wants to be the head coach of Texas? You let me know, homie. You let me know. Everybody want to fire that guy after they leave. Like, this was my thing about Oklahoma and Brent Venables. Because there's some Oklahoma folks in this chat right now that don't want to admit they was the one going, I don't know, Brent Venables might be the guy. He might not be the guy. And I'm going, y'all need to sit down somewhere and be quiet. You have not been around this football team long enough to understand what real pain is. If you ain't lived through Schnellenberger and John Blake, sit your punk ass down. Talk about Brent Venables need to go. Who do you want? You know what I mean? Like, if you were looking for somebody who's got the energy and passion that I do, who wants it as bad as I do, if you enjoy listening to things I got to say, Brent Venables, your guy. He is not going to have a good time after a win. He is not going to gloat after a win. He is going to get back to chewing film and trying to get the boys ready to play by saying, it's a privilege to play at Oklahoma. Wins are the standard. They don't act as if they are nice to have. He goes to Alabama expecting to win, which is not about confidence. It's like expecting to brush your teeth before bed. Now, you might not think that Steve Sarkisian got it like that, but I'm here to tell you, I think he does. And you're not going to make the college football playoff every year. You made the college football playoff the last 2 years in a row, and you won a Big 12 championship. You made the SEC championship game in year one. Sit out somewhere. It's my problem with Texas fans. Some of y'all entitled, man. We rich. We got money. Probably not even a Texas fan. They rich. They got money. That's the price of getting in the door. Have you seen Texas Tech lately? Money can get you in the door. If you ain't got none, you probably crying about other people's rosters. Get some bread, dog. Get some bread. Get out of here. Let me see. What we say? Oklahoma won today only means Bama was never anybody. Okay, I'm going to put you in timeout, dog. Today is not the day to be using any of your Oklahoma epithets. Today's not the day. My patience is on the floor. I have none. Zero tolerance for any back talk that we got. Okay? Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. Right now is not the time. Right now, I am Goku without having eaten all day. Okay? That's what you're dealing with. I'm on 11. I feel real good, but I'm also very, very hungry. And you know what happens when Goku gets very, very hungry? All right. Be quiet somewhere. Art's going to transfer it. No, he's not. They're not the type. He ain't the type. He might get beat out. You might see some Matthew Caldwell, but he ain't transferring. That's not what's happening. See what else you got in here. Senkai Busco, dogs. Hey, man, I was looking at that outside kick, and it's like getting hit with the Kamehameha wave without knowing it's coming. You know, there was no Ka-me-ha. There was only bang. Oops, my bad. It's messed up. I remember I fell out laughing. I was giggling because nobody in Texas was prepared for this. Nobody. Jeff Banks got some splaining to do. It's like, hey, I thought the pole assessment was a thing of the past. Kirby Smart pulled it out for the onside kick. Oh, yeah. No, Bill Belichick. Dog, lost to Wake Forest tonight. We got dudes named Jake Dickert beating the crap out of Bill Belichick. You left the NFL to do this. You left the NFL to get your butt kicked at North Carolina the day after you say, I have no interest in the New York Giants job. I have no interest in the NFL. I'm on to Wake Forest. And then Wake Forest said, no, we on to you. We on top of you. We about to whoop all up and down your Tar Heel behind. Y'all paid this man $10 million to lose to the Demon Deacons. I get it's year one. But it's year one. Damn. Jesse Brown over here will take Sark as an OC. Y'all better. Yeah, dog. Okay. All right. I'll play along. Well, Oklahoma will take Sark as an OC. We'll also take Lincoln Riley. Yeah, that dude just spit out his drink. Stop it, Jesse. He been subscribed to the channel for a long time. Otherwise, stop all that. People on Ben Arbuckle's head. 3 freshmen on the offensive line. We on Ben Arbuckle's head. All right, cool. Bet. Who's on Bill Belichick? Oh, Bill Belichick. Who's on Bill Beatonbow's head? Huh? We got Michael Fasusi out there, left tackle. True freshman. But we're going to be on the offensive coordinators. Okay, fine. Sure. What else we got here? Congratulations on your big win today over Bama. Appreciate that, Tristram. Go Dogs. We might deserve to have 6 teams in the SEC in the college football playoffs. No, you don't. 4 max. Stop all that. Nope, 4 max. 10 wins will get you in. 10 wins will get you in. 10-2. Make those losses count. right? Because the Big Ten is going to get 4-2. It feels like if USC wins out, they beat Oregon, right? Or Oregon beats USC, they're going to get in, right? Same thing as Michigan. If they win out, they beat Ohio State, they're going to get in. Indiana's in. Ohio State's in, right? 6 teams from the SEC, ain't no way. Ain't no way. You're going to get the 2 teams in the SEC championship game. You're going to get a 3rd team. Whether or not you get a 4th team is what we're really talking about. Because right now, that 4th team would have to be like in Oklahoma. So you're looking at, say, A&M Bama, right? Ole Miss or Georgia. We'll see, right? Oklahoma might get boxed out of that with 10 wins because Georgia and Ole Miss go 11-1. That's just the way that it crumbles. I'm not putting no 6 teams in from no SEC and no 12-team playoff. But if you want a 24-team playoff, holla at me. Holla at me. And before y'all get in here talking about this is already too many teams, I'm telling you, I'm willing to put people in timeout tonight. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Don't challenge me on this. I love a 24-team playoff, and I still got the shirt. I'm the dude that had the shirt that says expand the playoff, you cowards, before they went from 4 to 12. I want 24 teams. Don't play with me on this. Don't play with me on this. This guy in here about to run up on time. Is North Texas going to make the CFP? I think they will if they win out. Like, they're my top-ranked G16 ahead of James Madison, right? James Madison got an argument, and you know what? I'll hear it. But North Texas has been putting points up on everybody, including their loss to South Florida. It's just that defense got absolutely harassed. South Florida turns out to be not that great. Tulane, not that great. And then Navy, turns out to still be Navy. So it could be Navy, could be North Texas. But if James Madison wins out, it feels like they're just going to leapfrog. As a matter of fact, I might think about giving that a look tonight, but I don't like to penalize teams for winning. So North Texas being a 1-loss team with its loss being in South Florida right now feels better to me than James Madison being a 1-loss team with its loss being in Louisville, in large part because Louisville is now a 3-loss team, right? They got beat by a Clemson team that is the worst that Dabo has had since he got the job full-time. That's not a great look. I don't like that. Why not 24 and not 32 or 16? Okay, 16. You save yourself with this 16 because I was about to put you on timeout because I think don't try me on this. I wanted 16 before they went to 12, right? Because at the time, and this is my thinking with most of it, with the 16-team playoff, you had 10 conference champions, right, before the Pac-12 folded, and you could get there again. But every single conference champion gets an automatic bid. And then you have your 6 at large. So the 24-team playoff that I like is not the 24-team playoff that we're closest to putting in. So a lot of the work that I've done at Fox Sports about the hypothetical 24-team playoff is based on the model that is getting the most support. And the model that's getting the most support is 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten, for the SEC, for the ACC, for the Big 12, and 2 for the G6, which means that 18 of those spots are already spoken for, and the committee only gets to pick the next 6. So the really wild stuff they be doing, like ranking Iowa, right, who lost again, doesn't happen anymore, right? Or if it does happen, that's just one of their, okay, we get to pick this team. And that's frankly what they get to do with the G5, G6. They get to pick the best conference champion. If it's the Mountain West, if it's the Sun Belt, if it's the American, they're just doing that. Last year it was Boise State. This year it might be James Madison or the team that wins the American championship. 9-3 can't get in. Yes, that is my thought here. I think I got time for 1 or 2 more. For you, RJ, let's hope your Arbuckle isn't anything like Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle in the end. Best of luck. He ain't. The end. Let's see who else we got in here. Anybody got anything good to say? See, when I did a sports talk show on 97.1 in Tulsa, we didn't really do call-ins, right? And really have call-ins because nobody would call in. They did not want to debate me. This is not something they wanted to do. I understood it. I get it. I wouldn't want to debate me neither. So things like this just didn't happen. Let's see, Randy. Well, my son, an Ohio State supporter, keeps telling me we need to fire Venables. And I keep telling him he's freaking nuts. It'd be, 13 years since our defense has been this dominant. That is a fantastic point made. Fantastic point made. Because what we learned at Oklahoma is with Lincoln Riley going to score a lot of points. The offense that he runs does not feel like it is ever going to be capable of playing complementary football for any defense and any defensive coordinator, because they're going to score and score and score. And the way he wants to sit on the ball, it's not efficient. It's just running the football. Whereas the way that Ohio State will sit on the football is efficient. Doesn't mean they stop throwing the football. It means that they chew clock. It means they huddle. But when Lincoln Riley was running the offense at Oklahoma, we didn't have Coach Com like we do now. So if Lincoln wanted to stop running tempo, he could. But now when you run tempo, you need to. But when you can send this in here and you can huddle and you don't have to give away what alignment you're in, they can't gear up to stop whatever run they think you're going to run, because the thing is, you don't have that many. You know, everybody's got you got your staples. You got ISO, you got trap, you got power, got counter, right? Outside of those, sweep, stretch, if you're one of those teams that likes to run a lot of ace, delay. But depending on what formation in, we know what you want to run. So as soon as we get to see the formation, we clock it. Just like when people tell you how many guys are in the box, do math. If they got more than we can block, guess what we ought to be doing? Throwing the football. If they got fewer than we can block, guess what we ought to be doing? Run the football. If it's even, we have the advantage because we know the snap count. We know where we want to go. Run the football. It's that simple. I'm with you. Kid doesn't know much. What do I think of Arbuckle's scheme? I think I would like to see it with a real quarterback and a real offensive line. Like my one major conniption with John Mateer is that he's a high school shortstop playing quarterback. And the guy that I've seen since he broke his hand has not appeared. And I don't think it's got anything to do with the broken hand. I think it's that in the SEC, it's much harder to play quarterback than it was at Washington State, where you didn't really play Power 4 teams. And when you did, he didn't play that well. He played a lot like what he did against Alabama today. It wasn't great. And I was even getting asked this at halftime from the one person whose text messages I will return at halftime. Miss Terry, she'll watch this. And it was simple, like, what am I missing? And she didn't ask, what am I missing? It was, I forget exactly what she asked, but my response, I remember, was the defense is playing lights out. The special teams is playing lights out. Tate Sandell's probably going to win the Lou Groza Award and should. The turnovers are off, the points off turnovers are the reason why Oklahoma was in the game. Like, if you don't have a pick six, Oklahoma doesn't win. Period. I mean, we're talking about a Bama team that had turned the ball over 6 times for today, and they turned over 3 times today. That doesn't happen. Oklahoma doesn't win. With a competent quarterback like, say, Ty Simpson, you win that game by 3 scores. I haven't seen that with John Mateer. I don't think it's got anything to do with the scheme. The scheme doesn't make you overthrow passes. The scheme doesn't make you throw into throwing lanes that aren't there. The scheme doesn't make you intentionally ground the ball. The scheme doesn't have you holding on to the ball and taking sacks. The scheme doesn't have you rolling out to one side where everybody knows where you want to dump the ball off and we jump the route. That's got nothing to do with the scheme. That's everything about the quarterback. So to be honest with you, I don't think I've seen the scheme. I think I've seen John Mateer run the scheme. I think that makes sense the way I'm putting it. Let's see. I don't think that John Mateer is uncoachable. I think they're playing to his skill set. I think he's intensely coachable. I really do. I think he's an outstanding man. I think he is learning on the job. I also think there's a reason why he wasn't recruited heavily out of high school. There are things about his game that might give you the willies at the Power 4 level, and we're seeing them. We're seeing them. I think I got time for one more good question. So put a question mark at the end of what it is that you want to ask. Maybe. Okay, Zach, you're in timeout. Nobody's coaching. Okay, that's what you think. Okay, Kevin Johns would like a word. So would Ben Arbuckle. We're not gonna be reckless with what we got to say over this. We're not. You're gonna make an argument here. Okay, you're gonna present an argument. You're gonna present a question. College football sports talk. It's not your daddy's Facebook page. Okay, you don't just get to say stuff that's just wild and all offsides. Do that somewhere else. When you watch Gunnar Stockton, who does he remind you of? That's a damn good question because nobody springs to mind. Like that's the thing. Nobody springs to mind. But honestly, as I'm thinking this through right now, and I think about what he does well, which is make plays. Like he's not going to have outstanding stats, even though he threw just 5 incompletions today against Texas. But you see the way that he commands the offense and how he can make something happen with his legs. The guy that I think if you put his jersey on and you didn't know his face, put on and blinders on, it's Diego Pavia. That's who Gunnar Stockton is to me. He is Diego Pavia if his name is not Diego Pavia and he doesn't play at Vanderbilt. If he doesn't have the baggage of playing New Mexico State or being like a 6th, 7th year quarterback. Gunnar's just going to go win football games. There's nothing about his athleticism or his arm talent that I find especially inspiring. I think he is outstanding as a quarterback because he's an all-around guy who's going to go make the hard play and make the hard pass, and it's going to work. I learned that from him last year. He can go win you the football game. I can't teach winning. As a matter of fact, when I talk about quarterbacks, I bring up Lincoln Riley a lot because he is a quarterback whisperer. He's got 3 Heisman Trophy winners. He's got 3 number 1 overall picks, okay? Each one of those guys is playmakers. Each one of those guys has their own way of getting it done. Kyler Murray and Caleb Williams, much more lethal with their legs than Baker, but Baker was also more accurate than both. Okay. That aside, what Lincoln would say is, I don't care much about the guy's arm talent. I don't care much about the guy's size. I don't care much that the guy can move around in the pocket or make something happen. Is the guy a winner? Like, what's his record as a starting quarterback, middle school, high school? What is it? Because winning generally follows that guy around. So if I put a winner behind center, we're probably going to win. And he was right. Kyler Murray is the best high school football player out of Texas ever. Period. Winner. Baker Mayfield, winner. Caleb Williams, winner. You put guys in that position that win football games. That's who Gunnar Stockton is. He's a winner. That's what Diego Pavia is. He's a winner. I think that's a very good question. I'm glad I got a chance to answer it. Okay, that is going to do it for tonight's live episode of Adapt and Respond, including impromptu call-in show. If you like the live show, tell me that in the comments below, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Doses.